On late Friday afternoon, CNN reported on the text messages that Donald Trump Jr. sent to then Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. And of course, these text messages, in case you haven't been paying attention, seem to reveal that Donald Trump Jr. was pushing for a coup before the 2020 results were even in. This happened in the 2 days following the 2020 election. It took 2 days, of course, for Biden to officially be declared the winner. And in that span of time, Donald Trump Jr. began texting Mark Meadows, telling him how to basically go about stealing the election from that point. Again, this was before all the claims of voter fraud. This was before we even had the results. And some of the texts included, POTUS must start second term now. He suggested that Republican-controlled state legislatures in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Wisconsin, and Michigan, quote, step in and put forward, quote, Trump electors. He also suggested firing FBI Director Christopher Wray, because Wray was not releasing anti-Biden stuff that allegedly existed within the FBI. This is a coup. That's what this is. Again, this happened before the results of the election came in. Trump Jr. started freaking out, and so he sends Mark Meadows. Again, that was just a tiny little snippet of text. There were more texts. They're all explicit. They lay out the plan. We do it now, or we have to wait and do it on January 6th, bada, bada, bada. So yes, he does explicitly lay out plans, not just one plan, but several different plans on how they can steal this election before the election was even called. This, in my opinion, is prosecutable. That's what should happen from this point forward. Now, if we had a United States Department of Justice that was worth a damn, we'd have this investigation going on right now. Trump Jr. was not a part of the administration. The big lie, as it's called, had not been crafted yet. And this happened prior to the results of the election being revealed. All of these things combined show that what Trump did here, and again, this is just my, opinion of this, but it's a clear showing that this individual was attempting to convince the sitting government that they needed to disregard the results of the election, regardless of what those were going to be. It was looking, of course, at the time that it was going to be Biden, to overthrow the electoral process and to install these pro-Trump electors. That is treason. And I'm not using that word lightly, because that's actually the same word that legal experts over the weekend were also using. Treason. Treason. And this was the then sitting president's son, who was not a part of the administration. And I think that's very important to point out. But another thing that this does is this actually destroys Donald Trump's only legal defense that he had. And I've talked about this before, so bear with me for a minute, because I am going to repeat it just in case anybody isn't familiar with it. The only way, if there is a federal investigation into Donald Trump's actions with the fake electors and things like that, the only way Donald Trump can technically get away with it from a legal standpoint is if they are able to prove that he legitimately thought the election was stolen. That would make all of his actions it would make all of his actions reasonable to a degree. Obviously, if they did legitimately think the election was stolen, that there was massive voter fraud, then what they did was not out of the realm of possibility for a sitting president to correct a wrong. However, because we now have this evidence, these text messages that show that this was being crafted before the claims of voter fraud, that completely destroys that legal defense. And as I said, that is Donald Trump's only legal defense. And it's now been destroyed. So do you see what I'm getting at here? He no longer has a defense. If federal prosecutors wanted to bring charges against him, there's very little chance that he would be able to wriggle his way out of this one. They just have to bring the prosecution, which they're not doing a dang thing about. So that's where we stand right now. I wish I had better news. I wish I had better updates. It, to me, looks like Donald Trump Jr. committed treason, and the Department of Justice is still sitting there twiddling their thumbs, pretending none of this is happening. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.